Hello, hello, my lovely collective. Welcome to Vivid Vibration. My name is Christina. I hope y'all are doing well. We're in recovery. We're in recovery. We got a lot of energy moving around. Okay, so we have the unfurl of the wings. Wait, I'm sorry. Unfurl the wings of forgiveness and abandon worry, which I kind of completely love because the past two reads have been about forgiving yourself, practicing self compassion. Like we do. I mean, listen, Christianity. Do I fuck with it? Christianity was created to rid the world of the gods and goddesses. It was intended, right? Even Paul, when he was recruiting the Romans or whoever, he would go into the temples and he would say, like all of these gods are real, but really it's just one God. Really, it's just one God. Um, you know, and the God of the Bible. I mean, shit. Like was it Moses who didn't get to go into the promised land because he was a dick and he fucked around and God was like, sorry, you don't get to go. You know what I mean? Um, he was the one who wanted to wipe out all of humanity. And they were like, well, if you could just find one person who's worth not killing, you know what I mean? People think way more of themselves than they really have any right to. Um, and it's not uncommon, especially in the Christian religion, for people to be very, like, well, especially like if you're dealing with holy rollers, which holy rollers are in real life my favorite of all of the Christians. Like if I had to pick a group of Christians that I was gonna fuck with, it would totally be the holy rollers because no shame, in terms of working with spirit, but also I don't think that the spirits that they always work with are great. And I think that people think that they're calling on God and they don't really understand what that means and their intentions and their motivations and their purity of spirit is pretty gnarly. So while they think they're working with one spirit, they're not. But a spirit, I mean, like people want to think that the world operates in this very fundamental basic way of human understanding and human restrictions and human, well, I'm comfortable with this, and since this is what I'm comfortable with, this is how it needs to be. And it's like, well, I hate to break it to you, but what makes you comfortable has really done a number on the rest of the world. You know what I mean? Um, so I'm going to unfurl the wings of forgiveness. It's not going to be for the people who are demanding that they get that forgiveness and demanding that their idiocracy, their stupidity, their ignorance, their belligerence, their holier than thou mentality, their I can do no wrong and what I decided needs to go and you're going to forgive me because if you're holy, you have to forgive me. Says who, bitch? Smite. You know what I mean? Because the forgiveness needs to go to the people who have been hurt, who have been damaged, who have been abused. And the people who do the abusing are the people in the churches, the people in the education system, people in the political system, like the people who go around thinking that they're representing, like some holy entity. But like, let's go back historically and look at who God is and how God came into be, how the patriarchy murdered the matriarchy. Creatures of the air understand you need two wings to fly. Soaring through life's turbulent skies requires the wings of accountability and the wing of compassion. Healing power is found when opposing forces of the two between the opposing forces of the two. Do you need to hold yourself or someone else accountable right now? What needs to be called out, owned, embodied? Or do you need to forgive yourself or another right now? Cultivate empathy, give yourself another the benefit of the doubt. Compassion keeps your heart receptive. Accountability keeps you fierce, protected, and boundaried. Engage both, and your psyche will soar uninhibited. Yeah, but again, it's like you choose who to forgive. You choose who to show that compassion to. You are not required or under any obligation to extend that to anyone who doesn't deserve it. It is not my job to just go around forgiving people who are still ignorant fucks thinking that they can get away with their little secret conversations and their little secret stagings. Like, you are still a sick fuck who still operates in sick fuck behavior and then cries and hides behind the kindness of people who call on a God who is kind of like part of the problem. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Really not my problem. Abandon worry. Worry doesn't empty tomorrow of its storms. It robs today of its sunshine. This moment asks you to trust instead of worry. It's not as bad as you think. Your worry is attempting to shelter you from an oncoming storm, but it's working overtime to convince you of a darkness that may never come. Your concern and self-protection are healthy. You need them. Worry, however, is not your friend. It robs your peace of mind and can keep you from trying new things, things that could potentially be a wonderful fit for you. Abandon all things that do not fit you. Genes, relationships, beliefs. Worry has always been too confining. Break through that dark ceiling and your possibilities will soar free. Yeah. Well, and again, I just feel like, for me, I think part of this whole process for me has been, well, because I did come from the church and then I did go through, like various organizations, seeking my salvation, seeking my purpose, seeking my destiny, seeking my drive. And what I got was people who wanted to, shame me. What I got were people who wanted to speculate on my destiny and then determine that they, the flawed human beings that they are, have decided that I am or am not worthy of all of the things, and I'm not worthy because what I stand for is in conflict with them. So they're still trying to sort the pieces and move the pieces and hope that they can get where they want to be, but they won't. But for me, I was worried that I wasn't going to get where I was supposed to be because the people who I was guided to turn to for help did the opposite of help me. They talked about me, they sent emails around about me, they recruited people to be against me, they talked shit on me, you know what I mean? And I was left feeling very abandoned in that. I was left feeling very worried. And, like I have had to release that worry and that fear and really, like offer that up and say, okay, like I had faith in people and I shouldn't have put my faith in people, but I didn't put my faith in people so much so that I lost faith in spirit. But I put my faith in people enough to make me waver in my journey, to make me question, like, do I owe these people something? Do I owe them compassion? Do I owe them forgiveness? Do I owe them any of that? And the message has come through resoundingly clear. Absolutely not. What you need to do is practice self-love, self-compassion, and open yourself up to the possibilities that are standing right in front of you. Release the worry of what chaos these people created around you and lean into, the blessings that spirit has provided you with, like right here, right now. Like the spiritual connections and contracts, like that you've called in that are healing and beneficial, that don't tell you you're not allowed to embody divine feminine rage, that don't tell you that you're not allowed to stand in contradiction or conflict to, what their mommy and daddy believe. Because my sister said I'm going to go to heaven. Your sister's a cunt. Yeah, it's getting aggressive. It's getting aggressive. Yeah, it is. But you know what? Listen, this God that y'all cling to, and not all of y'all, there are people out there. I mean, I know there are plenty of y'all out there who aren't Christians. And some of you who are kind of like in between with it all. But here's the thing. Again, Christianity was constructed not to negate that Christ existed, because I mean, totally he did, but not in the context people portrayed him in. And so, like they used him to destroy the matriarchy, to put men in control, to make men the creator. Men don't create. Men are supposed to protect, but instead they took on the role of creator and put women in the place of submissive, like just be kind, just be quiet, just be submissive. Don't speak, don't act, don't acknowledge the sacredness that you embody, because it's just like really inconvenient for them, you know. What do I think about church experiences? People who've been, I mean, I don't know, y'all. I grew up in the church, and there was a point in time where I would have said to you, you know, you can't tell me that God doesn't exist because I've experienced God. Do I know that I experienced God? Absolutely. Did I experience like the Christian God? You know, I mean, it's arguable. At the time, I definitely would have said yes, you know, absolutely. But the more I'm around Christians and the more I study like the people of it all, I don't think that they fuck with the right spirits. I don't think that they fuck with who they think they're fucking with. Do you know how many people hate in the name of Christ? Do you know how many people do terrible things in the name of Christ? Like you think you can pray to God and to Christ about your golden bubble and he's going to protect you, but he fuck the Palestinians. Fuck those kids who pray. You know what I mean? Like, do you hear yourself when you talk? I do. It's gross. The sun. Do do do. Okay. Judgment and the Eight of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, the Two of Cups, the Seven of Wands. Well, I mean, definitely judgment is occurring. Illumination, you know, battles that once were. I think. Well, let's read the Seven of Wands. I want to read that one from here. Oh. This is another this is another card of conflict because in the wands we experience the impetuous energy of fire that ignites and sometimes challenges us. Yet this is also a card of pride and strength, for it is the card that pertains to your core values. Here you encounter what you believe in and what moves you. You can see it shining brightly in your heart. Sometimes you need to take a radical stand to take charge and defend your position. Well, yeah, because you know what? Like a spirit that protects you. Well, yeah, I know people think I'm sick because of some magic that they did, which is like, it's cute. It's cute. I mean, yeah, I mean, for sure. Totally. You think whatever you want to think. There's a whole lot going on over here that y'all don't know about, and it does take a lot of energy. And I smoked almost an entire pack of cigarettes, like out of complete stress, but I feel like it was almost one of those things, like, you know, if somebody eats something, like they eat like like a jar of, well, when I was pregnant, I couldn't eat hamburger. Like hamburger was just like repulsive to me. And so like everybody got all this food and I was like, I just wanted to eat everybody's pickles. I was pregnant, so I did whatever I wanted. And I ate all the pickles and then I got sick and then I don't really like pickles, you know? And I feel like that was kind of what was happening. I feel like spirit was like, I'm gonna stress you out, I'm gonna let you do this, and then you're gonna hate it and you're gonna stop because you need to stop. And I'm like, all right, I guess, whatever. It's fine. I mean, I have been smoking for the better part of 30 years, which is like, you know, should probably chill on that a little bit. Um, Especially as I am going into all of these new arenas physically and spiritually. um, you know, I've got to prepare my body for that in a big way. Um, because woo. Sometimes you need to take a radical stand to take charge and defend your position. This is the card of activism, representing those who are not afraid to speak their mind, or those who find at last the courage and the opportunity to stand up for what they believe in. It gives space and a voice to those with less privilege. It invites you to dismantle the privileges you possess by standing alongside those with less agency, becoming their voice. Support those you can through small or large actions. Let your light shine as a guide for everything you believe in. Yeah, well, that's a big problem that I think people, like the people who, you know, like study me, because they don't follow me, they don't love me, they don't respect me. They scheme around me, they study me, you know, like I'm some damn whatever. I don't know, you know, like At this point, it's kind of a spectacle, but everything I say upsets them. And isn't that just telling of why I would never want to work with them? Because like literally everything you do, I think is a joke. And I try to be nice and supportive, but like it's really hard to be nice and supportive when everything you do is a mockery and a joke. And your level of awareness, like even these people who are like, they don't understand what they're doing. They really don't. Like your binder didn't explain to you all of the things that you needed to be explained. Well, yeah. I mean, so I don't know what else to tell you guys. Suck it up, Buttercup. You ain't coming. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, and I'm probably going to say a lot of things that are going to really, really upset you. So, repetition does not always equate to boredom. In the Eight of Pentacles, we discover this insight. It is the card of one who is learning with dedication and attention to detail. It is also about the ability to learn the basics of a craft or skill in order to make it our own. Then give it our personal imprint, like someone learning to write and going through a very standardized cursive or arriving at their own unique handwriting. Here we encounter someone who is learning an art form, one day at a time, be it physical discipline, a state of mind, or another philosophy. It is surely something that will change them and to which they will offer their own personal creative task. In the card, the craftsperson and the artist coexist, like the skill and the inspiration needed to make one's vision a reality. Yeah, that's cute. That's funny. Well, because the only time I ever quit smoking was when I was pregnant. Two of Cups. An important encounter is taking place here, not just a chance meeting. This is the first meeting of two people who fall in love, whether it is new relationship, loving, friendly, or otherwise. The Two of Cups tells you of the moment when two people meet. So I feel like there's a meeting. There's a meeting of minds. There's a meeting of heart, a meeting of spirit, a meeting of calling. Like half of the thing that has killed me is that it's like literally if any of these people would have had a conversation with me, which none of them will ever have a real conversation with me, not truly, because I will just lie to them straight through my teeth, and if it means creating chaos in their lives, because what are you doing? You're lying to me to create chaos in my life. Like what you put out, you get back times 10. Like get a grip, get a clue, go fuck yourself. That being said, I'm not alone in feeling that way. I'm not alone in being really irritated with the Karens and the Beckys of the world. I'm not alone in being really irritated with the flightiness of the spiritual communities that are out here doing shit they really have no right doing. Thinking that they're working with spirits and gods, that it's like, but you don't even really know what that means. You don't even really understand like the history behind what it is that you're doing and the transition that is occurring, and like what you do is counterproductive. Like everything you do is counterproductive to what is going to be. And it's so obvious that, like, why would you think that you have a place? Why would you think that anybody owes you forgiveness or owes you compassion or owes you, like what, like a sit down conversation about what's really going on, like you did, like I just want to punch some people in the face. I want to practice violence. I'm not doing a really good job not practicing violence. Judgment again. Yeah. Well, okay, so let's give an example of Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump, so Ghislaine Maxwell, right? Put in prison for trafficking. Her father started the trafficking ring and she was groomed to take over her father's business. Trump is a very big advocate for Ghislaine and for Epstein and for, and so a convicted sex trafficker who's been placed in lower security prison now because of her affiliation was asked to issue a statement about the character of this man. And you're like, do these people take themselves seriously? While they put the amount of money that he spent on the gold on the walls, on the, of the White House, because he wanted it lined in gold, on the parade for his birthday, on calling in national security on every city that has a black mayor, calling in national security on DC, the amount of money that he's spent on the military that he has called against the people, he could have housed like all of the homeless people. We could have dealt with education, we could have dealt with food, we could have dealt with a lot of things, but instead he decided to wage war. And he decided to wage war in the name of Christ, because don't you know that Trump is the trumpet, the sounding call of the apocalypse that the Christians really want to occur, because they wanted to rob the earth of its natural resources as their God-given right, because rape and ownership and destruction is their God-given right. Because Christ came to forgive all of their sins and take them up and leave all of the sinners in the destruction that they created. Let's talk about logic, shall we? Let's talk about energy exchange and what entities connect itself to whatever they're identifying with. You can get real deep with this. So basically you're fucked, so sorry. You'll figure out why eventually, though. And when you do, you'll think to yourself, man, I really wish I would have just not waged war. I really wish that instead of hiding something and trying to manipulate somebody who knows psychically what's going on, that I would have tried to be upfront and honest. I really wish that I would have taken the opportunity to understand, instead of listening to some idiot fucktard destiny swapping cunt. And then tending to my wounds by, still not changing a fucking thing and trying to make the person who's actually creating the change the problem. Because, man, it's just not great logic. And, for people who think that they're really smart, I struggle with agreeing with that. 100. But again, judgment. It's time to walk away from people who think that they're entitled, people who think that they know, and they don't really know. And it shows that they don't know. Yeah. It is almost like this purge, a purge of the energy, a purge of, I don't know why everyone thinks that this is going to be some pretty smooth transition. I don't know why they think that they can do their deeds in the dark and that somehow the light's going to come and save them. I really don't understand. But, again, that's not my problem. We're standing in partnership with power. We're standing in partnership with divine guidance. We're standing in partnership with illumination. We are no longer worrying about the people who just don't get it. And we're really no longer concerning ourselves with, things that we once concerned ourselves with, because they've shown us who they are. They've shown us their intentions. I feel like there's somebody who's like, well, what if I want to change my intentions? Yeah, totally, for sure. I'm sure that you can. That's your journey, and trust spirit to guide you in the right way. if you have good spirits that are surrounding you. And I mean, like everybody has spirits, but everybody's not guaranteed uh, what they think they're guaranteed, you know? Like, what's your character? Your character probably says a lot more about the types of spirits that you have around you than anything else. Um, like can a spirit, like strangle you? Then you're not very protected. You think Christ is protecting you? You think Christ would let that happen to you? You aren't very familiar with any of it, and it shows. But serve is a wonderful example. So blessings and gratitudes to you for that. Yeah. The sun again. Love that. The sun, the star, the wheel of fortune, the king of pentacles, and the six of pentacles. Well, again, just this idea of like worrying about not having enough, but you have everything that you need. You've had everything that you needed. Honestly, I think that you just put too much faith in other people and their ignorance. Like a room full of idiots does not make the world a better place. But a room full of idiots is really, really loud, and they will scream and they will argue and they will kick and they will fight, and that can be really distracting. But when you turn on the light and you burn away what is no longer necessary, and you illuminate the way that you need to go, the healing begins to occur. I feel like there's like this journey that's being embarked upon. Like this physical transformation that is occurring, because as you expand spiritually, like you have to be able to embody and hold that power. I think for a lot of us, we've been embodying, we've been holding, but as we expand, as we grow, I just like, because when you're pregnant, you have to take your vitamins. You have to rest when you need to rest. You have to quit smoking. You have to eat what your body tells you to eat. You have to do all of the things, right? And I feel like that's really what's happening. It was like full stop. It's time to like, it's time. Like, okay, we'll do a little gypsy witch card. Yeah. Yeah. Well, my kids never knew I smoked, honestly. I was a secret smoker, like always, because, in my opinion, it's not healthy. And I didn't want my children to be around it because I could just wait. Like, they were more important. The bride ensures for a single person the fulfillment of their highest aims when near, if distant, a turbulent married life. But I feel like this is like you're coming into yourself. You're coming into this partnership. You are changing. Like your DNA is altering. Your physical everything is changing. You're feeling it. Um, and it's beautiful and it's exciting. But I also kind of feel like there's this, I don't know, pregnancy is the only thing that's coming through, but like once you're pregnant, you don't go to IVF, you don't go to doctors, you don't practice, like tricks of the trade, like what when you put a pillow under yourself and you lean back. I don't know. I'm an extremely fertile person. I got pregnant without any issue at all. So it was never anything that I did, but I do know people who have struggled with infertility and like some of the things that they've shared with me that they've done, and I feel like there is this sense of like almost like struggling with infertility, but now you are carrying what you need to carry. Now there is no need to ask anybody how do I impregnate myself? How do I get that thing to happen? It's done. And now that it's done, you don't need to concern yourself with all the people who are telling you things that don't even apply to you because they don't. Abracadabra. It's got a little hot air balloon and a lighthouse. I haven't gotten this one yet. Let us read it. Yeah. Say it with me. Abracadabra. Well, because I speak it into existence. The word has been associated with hocus pocus, sleight of hand trickery, but it's so much more. It's an Aramaic word meaning I create as I speak. This is the time to believe in your vision and honor the power of the light source. Draw close to wonder, embrace possibilities. Your dreams ache for a way into the world. You are their lighthouse, delivering them from etheric waters into the harbor of reality. Let yourself be their ally. Hold on to the truth behind all manifestations. Seeing is not believing. Believing is seeing. Believing in the magic helps manifest it into the material realm of your life. Yeah. And I do think that there is an ally. I just think that the people who are with me, not all of the people with me, but the group, the sickos that are with me, they want me to be their ally, and I will not be their ally for a number of reasons. And like every action that they take, every secret that they whisper, every like bubble that they try to create, like it's in an attempt to like force an allyship. And it's like the more you try to force it, the worse it gets for you. I really wish you would stop. How's that for allyship? If you would have listened to me when I told you to fuck off the first time, you wouldn't have that problem. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. It does feel a little bit like waging war, but it doesn't feel like waging war because what it feels like is birth. It feels like giving birth. And I feel like there were all these people who wanted to be the ones to impregnate you. There were all these people who thought they were going to be the ones. And none of them were the ones. And now they want to like cry allyship because they tried to uncover the path, but it's like, no, you didn't. You talked about it amongst yourselves, but you never engaged with magic. So, not really. I mean, I know y'all think you do. It's cute. It's cute. And everybody embodies like a level of magic, right? I mean, like when I say magic, I mean like real embodiment of magic. I don't mean like I cleared it, like cool, literally anybody can get a Reiki certification on the face of the planet. You know what I mean? Like that's not impressive. It's just something that people do because it gives them authority according to a community of people who have mandated themselves as authoritarians and things that they really aren't. They don't really have authority over it. But anyways, yeah. So there's that. Hope y'all enjoyed. Sure you didn't. Sure I pissed a lot of people off. Love that for me. But, again, I don't know what else to say, so it is what it is. Thanks for hanging out. If this does resonate with you, please do give me a like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.